Welcome to another episode of our Community Chats podcasts, where we highlight voices making a difference in communities around the world, beyond just our local community of Toronto. Egypt is a nation where a rich history coexists with the complexities of contemporary life. While its legacy of ancient wonders remains a source of pride and inspiration, many communities today navigate both the opportunities and the ongoing challenges the country's facing. The country's energy is shaped by a blend of long-standing tradition and efforts towards progress, with everyday life reflecting both resilience and a commitment to community, even as the social and economic realities in the country continue to evolve and can be quite challenging. I'm really thrilled today to share a conversation with my guest, Aida Abd El Nor, a passionate advocate from Alexandria, Egypt. Aida brings years of experience from her work with High Care and the Alexandria Self Advocacy Resource Group. These are organizations dedicated to empowering individuals and fostering inclusive support networks in Alexandria and beyond. In this episode, we're going to talk about the inspiring work that's happening in Egypt's self-advocacy movement. We'll explore some of the unique challenges faced by the community and learn how local leadership and collaboration are really having an impact in people's daily lives. Community Living Toronto has collaborated with Aida's organization, and we've drawn a lot of inspiration and learning from our shared efforts. I now bring you our conversation with Aida. Aida Abd El Nor. So I probably said your last name poorly, but you are in Alexandria, Egypt, and we're really pleased that you've survived the time change to join us today and have a conversation. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Now, maybe we can start. Give us your name the way it should be pronounced.
Sorry?
Say your name.
Okay. My name is Aida Abd El Nor. In Arabic, Aida, not Aida.
Aida. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. So now you are with an organization that does a number of things. We've gotten to know each other mostly through the work that you've done with our Community Living Toronto influencers, but your organization also does a lot of other things. So maybe you can start. I'm curious. So first of all, maybe start a little bit about your organization, and then I'd love to sort of hear what life is like these days in Alexandria. But let's start with describing your organization and High Care.
Okay, thank you. First, I will tell you who am I. My name is Aida Abd El Nor. I am working as a specialist for children with disability from 2003. Then I became the director of High Care. From 2018, I became a coordinator for Alexandria Self Advocacy. First, who is High Care? High Care is an organization in area in the east of Alexandria. It's Al-Agami.
Okay.
It's a big area. It's including 7 another small areas.
Okay.
From we started our work in 2003. Then we registered at 2005. And we were the first organization supporting children with disability in this area.
Wow.
Yeah.
So before 2003, there was no services, no organization, no help for parents or adults, parents with children with disabilities or adults with a disability. Wow.
Yeah, this area, these children, they were moving to another area between our area and the other places who they're giving these services to ours. So families need to move from our area to another area, spending 2 hours in transportation.
Wow.
Then we were so poor organization, so small, but suddenly we find a lot of children coming from everywhere, and we start our work. Actually, we have a lot of disabilities. We have children with autism, Down syndrome, different syndromes, intellectual disabilities, and slow learner, and a lot of children coming to us. We serving very young children, maybe 2 years, 1 years and a half,
Right.
until 12 or 15.
Okay.
This is high care. Then the last 10 years, we start to learn more about rights. Then we
Okay.
start working on empowering families and supporting rights for children with disability, then individuals with disability. We're working on how we can support them to know their rights. Through this time, we met with Swedish organization.
Hmm.
It's Interact. This Swedish
Okay.
organization start to invite us to learn more about advocacy.
Right.
Yeah, and we was at 2011. We started to learn more about this, and we make small groups in different organizations. Swedish this Interact had, I think, seven organization working with. We were a network
Hmm.
from different organizations from Alexandria, Cairo, and Beni Suef. Um, all of us start to make small groups about self-advocacy. Then at 2014, we decided to make a core group to make change or make a big network in Egypt. Then we established Alexandria Self Advocacy Group. This is members from different organizations around Alexandria and Cairo, Bani Suef.
Okay.
This group start to meet regularly, focusing on building their capacities. Then the last 2 years, we start to go out to our community to learn people or make a big awareness about what uh, the individuals with intellectual
So
disabilities need from the society.
yeah. And maybe and that's just to with that around advocacy, learning about advocacy, and wanting to change the way the world is. But maybe you could describe a little bit about what life is like in Alexandria, and then what it's just in general. Again, because most of what I know about Egypt, I have some Egyptian friends, but most of what I learned about Egypt, I learned in school, right? And we learned about the pyramids and the Nile, and sort of those relationships around the Mediterranean and that. But I'm sure that is not an accurate view. What is life like in Alexandria, sort of day to day?
Okay. In general, I will speak about a big issue for the Egyptian, especially for people in Alexandria. The economic situation in
Yeah.
Egypt, we have a hard economic situation. So the life became very hard, especially after the revolution.
Right.
Um, a lot of companies closed their doors, and a lot of people cannot find work. So now we have a very hard time for the economic situation. If I will speak about people with disabilities, and this is a very hard journey. When the family have a child with disability, any kind of disability, they start their journey from the first. They need to go to the doctors.
Right.
We don't have good doctors in the government hospitals.
Right.
So we need to pay more money to know what is the problem. After that, we need to pay a lot to have to have medication and to buy this medication. Then they need to go to somewhere to teach their children, and this is a big issue in Egypt. This
Hmm.
is actually our organization giving these sessions or these teaching methods with little fees. But in other places, it's a very expensive for
So there's
the
not a
people.
lot of service. There's not a
Mm,
lot of service that's funded, that's available for, I'll say for free, but is that provided by government. And then the services that are more accessible are private that you have to pay
yeah.
for, and they're more
Mm,
expensive. And I would assume that means that it's out of reach for many people who need those services.
yeah, that's right. And it will be will not end, children with disabilities need a long time to learn. So
Right.
the families, maybe they can pay for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. In the end, they cannot continue.
So are they going to, are kids going to school? Do they have a right to attend school if you have a disability?
This is another big issue. In Egypt, actually, we have now the children need have the rights to go to the school, but the school's not accepting them. Um, I remember that a mother told me that she went to the school the first day, and the director of the school came to her and said, "Sorry, you don't need to come with your child. We don't have a place for him. We don't have teacher for him. So please come just to have the exams and go home." Then this lady
Wow.
come to our center and start to crying for a long time. Then we told her that this is your right to go to the school. You have to go to the school. If you feel bad, you have to complain. But actually, this is not the only case. Most of them have the same problem. Do you know that in our schools, the classroom have more than 100 students. So it's impossible to
Sorry,
have this
pause
child.
there. The classrooms, a, a,
Yeah,
a, a classroom has 100 students
yeah. In
with one
our
teacher
area,
or
one teacher, yeah,
one teacher
one
to a
teacher,
hundred students.
yeah.
Wow. In Ontario, it ranges between sort of 20 to 30 kids. I'm sure there's cases where it's more.
No,
Those are huge. And that would be in sort of primary school, like kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and then into high school as well throughout.
yeah. It
Wow.
is the same, but in the high school it will be different because there is many kind of learning schools. So they need to go. Maybe they will go to the secondary school. They go
Right.
to learn some
Yeah.
what is another.
Skills.
There is many
Yeah.
schools in the secondary school, but it's at the primary school. It's only one school for everyone. So
And then
we have a huge number.
the school doesn't provide support for a child with a disability to attend the classroom.
No, it's not logic. If the teacher have 100, of course he will not focus on this child or to give him any support.
Okay. In Ontario, some of the schools will provide an educational assistant, an
Mm,
EA, to go into the class to work with one or two class, or just to be an extra support to the teacher in classrooms that are 20 to 30. Not I can't imagine what the impact would be if there's 100 students and one teacher, like the person with a disability is not going to get an accommodation or support that they would need to benefit. I would
yeah.
imagine.
And you said that in your in your country you are asking for assistant. Here, if we ask it for assistant, if the school ask it for the assistant, this is means that the family need to pay
The
the
parent
salary
pays,
for
yeah.
this. So if she now we can find someone to support the child, he need to take 5,000 or 6,000 per the month, and this is a huge amount for the family. And this is
Yeah.
another reason to not send them to the school. All the children already their names in the school, but they don't go regularly to the school.
That's it. That's interesting. There's a lot of issues with the education system here and how the EAs are assigned, and there's not enough, and that, but that right still exists, right? So we've also done some work in Kenya and have had the way you're describing it very similar there, where you can go to school, even if you're paying for a private school, and you can have what they call a shadow teacher to
Yeah.
come and give support. But the school, the educational institution, doesn't pay for the shadow teacher generally. It's the parents that have to not only pay for, but find, supervise, train the person.
Yeah, that's right. This is the same in Egypt. And this is for the school. We are finishing the school. Now we need to go to the work.
Right.
People with intellectual disability don't have any resources of fund because it's not easy to to ask someone with intellectual disability to come to work with you in your company. The
Yeah.
companies don't have more responsibility on them on their shoulders. So this is another big issue. Our country paying some fees every month for people with intellectual disability, but do you know this is a very small amount. They are paying
Right.
700 Egyptian pound for the month, and the egg, one egg by 6 Egyptian pounds. So do you see the balance? There is no balance.
Sorry. So people are earning, if they're working, 700 pounds a month.
No, if they are not working, the country will give them
Oh, I see. Sort
700
of,
pounds
okay, like
every month.
okay. So 700 pounds a month. And you said, let me just make sure I got this. You said an egg costs,
With six, yeah,
an
£6.
egg costs 600 pounds.
Yeah, no,
So they're
six
getting
pounds
just over the equivalent of an egg's worth of financial
for
value
the
for
yeah.
to support themselves. So there's no way that
Mm.
people can do that without the help of families or friends or organizations like yours.
Yeah, that's right. Um, eh, and this is part of the issue. The other issue, if they have a work, they will find someone to use them to take their money, or to put on them more work than others.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Because people
and
aren't confident to say that's not my job. They're just appreciative to have something, and then they get taken advantage of or become victims of others.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And this is about work. We have another big problem that in our law, actually, before 2018, this is something good. Before 2018, we don't have any law for people with disability. But now, from 2018, there is a law talking about the rights of people with disabilities. But the big problem, we
Okay.
still have some weak points in this law. And the second thing that there is the people don't applying or don't uh, doing this law. This is some papers in on the shelf, you know, so no one.
There's and I think a lot of countries and that have adopted the UN Convention on the Rights with Persons with a Disability, the countries will sign on to or agree to the principles within
Yeah,
the charter. However, when on the ground or how people experience or live it, it doesn't come anywhere close. Which I guess is where your work around advocacy came in. So your advocacy group. Maybe tell us a little bit about that. What's the name of your advocacy group?
okay. Alexandria Self Advocacy Group, resource group.
Yeah.
This group come from a different organization, as I said before, and this group from people with intellectual disabilities and their families. They come together, start to speak about all the challenges they've faced. Then we give them the chance to speak. The people with intellectual disability need someone to listen to them.
Right.
When we are meeting together and we're looking for them, we feel happy that they are expressing about their feelings. For the first time, they feel that someone listening to them,
Right.
someone caring about their feelings, and someone giving importance for their words.
Hmm.
We're trying to give them chance to discuss and say what they need to do, and we take what they are saying and putting together to put the whole picture together.
Right. Now, you had used the term when we were talking at one point that a lot of the people that you work with feel that nobody sees them. And you're talking, right?
Yeah,
Nobody listens, nobody sees. And you had a story where you talked about somebody who literally didn't
yeah,
or wasn't, well, it didn't really exist legally.
mm,
Do you want to, can you share that story about what happened to that person?
yeah. Uh, we are planning to go to Saudi Arabia to
Yep.
make a training there about advocacy. And
Right.
it will be by the end of this month. We were three going to there, two self advocates, and I am supporting them. Uh, we went to the embassy, and they asked a lot of papers and a lot of documents to let us travel. We
This is
start
the
to prepare
Saudi
all of
embassy.
this.
The Saudi embassy
Yeah,
you went to? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh, we prepared all the things, but they asked to have a birth certificate for Dina. Dina, self advocates with Down syndrome,
Hmm.
and her mother at the hospital, and her father more than 17. He cannot move a lot in the sun and all of this.
Right.
Then I decided, I volunteered to take Dina to the officer. When we get in the office, we faced the officer and we told them that we need a birth certificate for Dina, and she is Down syndrome. He looked at her, then he looks at my eyes. He said, "I'm sorry, I cannot give her any certificate." I tell him why. He said, "I need her parents." I told him that they are not
And
able to come.
how old's she at this point?
I think Dina is 35 years old.
30, so a 35-year-old woman wanting to get a
Yeah,
copy of her birth certificate
yeah, and and
is told
and,
by a
and she told
doctor
him,
that he can't give it to her.
yeah, she told him why my mother is sick and my father cannot come, so I need a certificate for me. He said he didn't look at her. He looked at me again and said, "No,
Wow.
I'm sorry. I can't give her anything. See, she don't have the legal right to ask for, legal capacity. She don't have the legal
Yep.
capacity." Uh, I tried very hard, but in the end, we came back to the home. The other side, the embassy. We sent 3 mails to the embassy, explain the situation. They ignored all of this and they said, we need, the embassy asked for bank statement for
Oh,
her,
right, right.
and she don't have the legal capacity to have account
A
on the
bank
bank.
account. Right.
And it is the same situation that the embassy don't see her at all and insist to ask to this document. Then we have to exclude her from the traveling, and I and Amir will travel by the end of
Hmm.
this month.
Hmm.
This is a very bad situation, and this is a kind of discrimination.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking stories and
Mm,
difficult situations.
yeah.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about how our two organizations got together. So, During COVID, we work with a pharmacy called Seamless Care, and they a great provider that we use. And one of the pharmacists there was based out of Egypt during, as a lot of people were working remotely, and she was based out of Egypt, and reached out to say, do you know of anybody in and I think she was in Alexandria. Do you know anybody in the area around that related to the disability field that you could connect us with? So we reached out to Inclusion International, and they connected us with you. And from that, and I guess that would have been 2020, 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
From that, your Self Advocates Group got together with our Self Advocates Group, our CLTO Influencers, and you've connected by Zoom a number of times since then. We also did a fundraiser for you called Night on the Nile, that Seamless sponsored, and a number of other people. So we raised some money that we're able to support some of your advocacy work. But how's that been for you to get to know, for your self advocates to get to know some of our self advocates? What's that been like?
Yeah. First, I need to tell you that 2021, it was the last year that Interact was supporting us. Then
Oh wow.
uh, we don't have any resources to fund, and we spent 1 year trying to survive. Then your invitation came, and it was very, very um, helpful for us
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
about our meeting together. When I spoke with the self advocates, do you know they felt that uh, we are still here and you are the future. So we are dreaming to reach to what you are arrived, or what you have now. And this was the main issue in our meetings. They can see what the your self advocates did, and they will have the hope that one day they will be here. I remember one of self advocates, Salma, you met her in
Yep.
Sharjah. She
Yep.
told me that we are not doing this for ourselves. We know that one day another children with intellectual disability will be adults and will be benefit from all our work. This is, I think, when we made the first meeting, actually, we didn't say anything. Most of the time, they was speaking to each other. They know each other, and they were very happy that they are speaking to another someone have the same situation, have the same
Right.
issues, and it
And
was
they're on the
amazing,
other
really.
part of the world. Like, I still am blown away by technology. Like, I'm sitting here in Toronto and you're sitting in Alexandria, and we're talking back and forth. I find that amazing. So to have people that you can relate to around the world, that are experiencing similar things, and it's great that you're seeing that's such a good lens around why you advocate. Yes, you're sometimes advocating for yourself, but you're also advocating for a better future for people who you may never know, that may come
Yeah,
down the years, because unfortunately progress in many areas comes slowly, and it
yeah,
takes patience and perseverance to get there.
yeah. Uh, you know that from 20 years, it's not allowed for any child with intellectual disability to go to the school.
Right.
I remember that I was so young and I attend some meetings. There is some people was fighting to include the children in the schools. And now after 20 years of work, the children go into the schools. At least their names in the schools, they have go to the exams. We dream that we will work on that until maybe 10 years, 20 years, the children with disability will have a place in their schools
Right. Right.
and have a good education.
So you're already seeing there's a track record, a history that you can look back on and say, yes, we have made progress. Not quick enough, not enough, but there is progress.
Yeah.
Good. So for organizations like ours, in Canada or other parts of the world. You mentioned Sweden, right? It was the organization was from Sweden.
Yeah, yeah.
How important are those sort of connections with others around the world, or what value is them are there to those relationships for you? Because I have some thoughts on the value for us, but I'd love to hear your
Yeah.
perspective.
Okay. There is big 2 points. The first one that we learned a lot. In Egypt we don't have any resources. We don't know anything about rights, about advocacy. Then we learned about a lot about this. So we have had a lot of resources from this. So our meetings or our relationship, it's not only about money or about fund. It's about something bigger. Like as I
Right.
told you, we are partner. You're giving me some information. When I was with Interact, they supported me many times to attend some. Some courses. I learned about RDI and about Denver programs, these programs
Hmm.
for children with autism. And I started to teach others in around Alexandria. I was the first one giving this information that there's a new programs, then ABA, and then the old things were working. And after that, I found a lot of organization working this with these approaches. Uh, it was one person learned about something, and
You
we
spread it
spread
around. You were able to
all.
share it broadly.
Yeah, I remember that I giving the first training for 300 person at the biblioteca. Do you know our biblioteca? It's a big library in Egypt, in
Yeah,
Alexandria. Then I give it to another group, more than 300. As I
300
told you,
people several times.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And it was like the first step to a different um, vision for a lot of organization.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is the first point. The second point, that our organization was very poor. I remember that when in the past, we working on recycling things to find toys or things to teach the children.
Right. Right.
When we were partner with with Interact, they supported us to bring materials and toys, a lot of
Oh,
things for
fantastic.
we will
Fantastic.
never dream to bring this uh, for the children. So there
Yeah.
is two big issues here:
Yeah.
support, funding, and resources.
That's great. For us, it's similar. I mean, the fun. It's not the funding. We're not looking, but the partnership for us has really been just understanding the perspective of people with disabilities around the world. Because again, you had at some point talked about that you're fighting for life and struggling for some very basic rights. The example of the birth certificate, where a person isn't really allowed to exist because they have a disability, and we're at different places along the journey of becoming fully included in society for people with disabilities. And I think that perspective helps ground us in our work. I also think there's an obligation that organizations have when because from our perspective, we don't have enough either. There aren't enough rights, there aren't enough resources. We can always make that case that we don't have enough, so we shouldn't share. But I'm of the belief that we, even with what we've got, we should be generous and share what we can. I also love the fact that our self advocates groups, the influencers, and your resource group have been able to connect and develop friendships with each other and understand that things we live in different parts of the world, but there's a lot that people have in common and can learn from each other.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now, one final thing, we were invited to present because the first time I met you in person was about a month ago, 6 weeks. we were invited to present at the Inclusion International Conference that this year was in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. And we presented to a full room, and it was I think what we shared with the group was really well received. And I had a lot of people come up after and go, "This it just seems so easy." I mean, with Teams and Zoom and connecting virtually, it's very easy to connect with people. And I think, from my perspective, that's a place to start. Just reach out, get to know some people, and share your experiences and ideas, and go a little beyond your comfort zone and your boundaries, and try something new. What was your takeaway from the conference? And I should say that the Inclusion International Conference happens every 4 years, and it's in different parts of the world. The last in-person one was in 2018 in Birmingham,
Yeah.
England.
Yeah.
During COVID, they met virtually.
We were there,
You were there.
but not me. Yeah,
Oh,
not
okay.
me. Another two self-advocates and two supporters.
Yeah. And it was an encouraging few days because dozens of countries represented, hundreds of thousands of people talking about what everybody's doing and how we come together, like you said, on rights, on
Mm.
inclusion, on just sharing ideas and getting to know people. What was your takeaway from the conference?
First, I have relationships. I made a good relationship with a group from Germany, and other one from United States, and the third one from Spain. And it was amazing.
Oh, great.
Uh, yeah, and actually we made uh, with all of this some meetings, sorry, sessions, and it was a very good cooperation. Do you know, it was very hard because of the language,
Yeah.
but yeah, someone speaks Spanish and someone speak German, and the supports need to translate from German to English, and they will translate from
Yes.
English to Arabic to
Well,
it
most
was
of our
very hard.
session was in Arabic, right? And I was listening
Yeah,
in on, yeah.
yeah. So it was good. We have a good relationship uh, uh, with different people. The second thing, they encouraging us, because a lot of organization. Oh, are you Alexandria Self Advocacy? We heard a lot about you. You
Oh,
are
good.
making good work. This is something else. The third things, that we listening to something new. There is some organization talking about their issues, and I was thinking, how can I tell our self advocates about this issue, or how can discuss this
Yeah.
issue with them? Then I found some ideas from different places. So I think when we are meeting together, we are not thinking by one mind; it's many minds
Yeah.
thinking together. So
Yeah.
I think this is very useful things.
And it's great to meet together virtually and get to know people, but there's nothing like coming together and meeting in person, and really sort of getting to know each other and learn from each other. So
Yeah.
that was interesting. Sharjah, I was so I'd not been to a place. I come from a place where the weather changes sometimes within the day. It goes all over the place. Sharjah, and every day 39 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
I think it rained. I don't even know that it rained when we were there, but it was every morning. There's just every day. I thought my weather app was always broken. Just 39 degrees and sunny. Quite the
You have to
place.
come to Egypt. Yeah, you have to come
What's
to
the weather
Egypt.
like there? What's the weather like there?
Yeah, yeah,
Hot and sunny
yeah,
as well?
yeah, yeah.
So, and okay, we've got to wrap up. We're close to time, but we'll post some information in our notes on our show around how to connect with you and your website, and to learn a little bit more. I'm sure you'd be happy to hear from that. If people are wanting to travel to Egypt, or would you encourage them to?
Yeah, of course.
Where would you
Yeah.
suggest people go?
Um, to Luxor,
Hmm.
Hurghada, of course, Sharm el Sheikh, to the new museum, I think it's
I've
amazing.
heard all about the new museum, and you can go online and put your face in the
Yeah,
you look like a
I will
pharaoh kind of.
I will send you a picture for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Good. Well, I hope if
Actually,
people,
if
yeah,
you spend 1 month in Egypt, you will not finish the things in beautiful things in Egypt.
such a great country, such a great country.
Yeah,
That's good. Aida, thank you so much.
thank
Glad
you.
we've gotten to work together, and thanks for taking a bit of your late in the evening for you to connect with us and share your experiences. And we really look forward to continuing to work together.
Please, thank you for you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for listening, watching, and sharing. We release a new episode of Community Chats on the 15th and the 30th of each month, so don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date.